Hey everybody, welcome back. 3 more movies here. Spooky Movie Month is in its final week. This Friday is Halloween, and what day is it? Wednesday? Tuesday? I think it's Wednesday. So 3 more nights. And I certainly have more than 3 movies on the shelf to watch, so I'm not too sure what the finalists will be, but we'll see. And for this batch, we have Night of the Demons, Hocus Pocus, and finally, Hush. And out of these 3, I have seen Hocus Pocus before, and I've seen Hush before. Night of the Demons was a first-time watch for me, so that was exciting. So let's start with the ones. Yeah, start with the ones we've seen before. We being me, and move it over here for now. I guess we'll start with Hocus Pocus, right? So let's see what we have here. Not much going on for writing on the back here for Hocus Pocus. In Disney's Hocus Pocus, pranksters conjure up 3 wild witches from the 17th century Salem for a night of zany fun and comic chaos, now in bewitching 4K HD. This came out in 1993, so 32 years ago. The sequel came out, it must have been last year, I think. Last year or 2 years ago. I don't know if it hit right at 30 years or not, but it wasn't this year. I'm pretty sure it was last year. And I was thinking when I was rewatching this, I was like, geez, I'm really surprised it took 30 years, 30 plus years for them to make a sequel to Hocus Pocus, because it just feels like one of those movies to me, like Home Alone, where they just did, what are there, 4 Home Alone movies now? Well, I guess there's only 2 with Culkin, right? But either way, they kind of made like a franchise out of it. And I think my wife was saying, it wasn't really popular when it came out, and I was like, that doesn't seem right to me. And I looked it up, and it wasn't. It was like a box office bomb or something. It didn't make very much money at all, and just over time became a cult classic of sorts. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I remember seeing it when it came out, but and that had been the same year that Jurassic Park came out, so I was certainly enamored with Jurassic Park, not so much Hocus Pocus, but I do remember seeing it. I remember liking it fine when I was a kid, but yeah, it's only recently, like the past 10, 15 years, I guess, where I'm like, okay, a lot of people seem to like Hocus Pocus. But yeah, I get a kick out of this movie. What everything's really funny with this movie is just the opening sequence, especially because the witches really do kill Kid. They suck the life force out of her, and then they turn, I think it was her brother or something, into a kitty cat for all eternity. And I appreciate how mean that was. And this movie, what was that? I think it was called Witches, right? Not as mean as Witches, but I like kids movies that have a little bit of an evil, mean streak to them. So the fact that they are on the lookout to eat kids, that's something that I definitely appreciate. Alright, so what else we got here? We got Hush. And I picked this up last year, I think, whenever it came out, and didn't get around to watching it. My wife, my wife and I saw this a while ago. It really blew me away when I saw it. But it's a home invasion film, and in general, it's something that my wife's not too keen on. And I don't remember when this came out. There's probably a date on here somewhere buried in all this tiny text, but I want to say 2015 or something. It's Mike Flanagan movie, one of his earlier ones. So he did like the Ouija sequel. Maybe that was a prequel, I don't remember. It was good though. And the Shining sequel, Doctor Sleep. Those are the movies I've seen. I haven't seen any of his Netflix stuff. But anyways, the 4K came out and didn't end up watching it and finally got around to it. And this actually has 4 discs, which is a little surprising. That's 3 more than most. And we have the original cut in 4K. And then there's the Shush cut, which is black and white. So it was supervised by Flanagan, the black and white grade. And there's a new audio track, which I think removes a majority of the score, at least from what I read. I didn't jump right into this because it's been so long since I watched the original that I want to, when I watch something that has a new cut or there's something different about it, if I haven't seen the original in a while, it's really difficult for me to, see the differences. I just don't remember them. So I watched the original and I'll watch the Shush cut at some point, I'm sure. And then we have the same disc split, in Blu-ray. But this is as mentioned, a home invasion movie, but it's a fun home invasion movie, I suppose. Like it's not like Funny Games where you're just watching it and you're wondering why am I watching this? Besides like the filmmaking aspect of it, it's like, okay, yes, I get it. And then who the hell directed that? Like, he ended up remaking his own movie. I thought that was a little curious. And then for whatever reason, I've seen both. I don't know why. I didn't even really enjoy Funny Games. I wouldn't even really recommend that movie to someone. But I guess I like to endure movies. So in this movie, a deaf writer who retreated into the woods to live a solitary life must fight for her life in silence when a masked killer appears at her window. That's him right there. He's got a mask on. Debuting for the first time on physical media, Hush from director Mike Flanagan, Dr. Sleep, Gerald's Game. I didn't see that. Creates a masterful feeling of foreboding and suspense and features a stellar cast including Kate Siegel, The Fall of the House of Usher, I haven't seen that. John Gallagher Jr., 10 Cloverfield Lane, I have seen that, but I don't remember him in that movie. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. A few other actors here. Also debuting for the first time is a newly created black and white version of the film dubbed the Shush Cut, featuring a new audio mix that will send you even deeper into the horrors of Hush. So, yeah, a lot going on with this edition. Very cool to have 2 cuts of the movie. It looked and sounded great. I was really happy with this 4K release as a whole. And it's just a really well done slasher movie. I can't remember. What's this? So this must be the guy in 10 Cloverfield Lane, John Gallagher Jr. Jeez, I really can't remember him in that movie. I have to go back and watch it. I've actually been meaning to watch that as well. Was he the other person in the bunker? That doesn't matter. I can't answer that because I'm talking to a microphone. So I'll go ahead and I will look that up. But yeah, this is just really well done, really effective. I just like the concept, the deaf woman in a house, there's someone trying to break in, and then they kind of play a cat and mouse thing for the majority of it. Yeah, I don't see the date on here for when it came out. I really think it was 2015, but 2016. Okay, so I was pretty close. All right, and finally we have Night of the Demons. So this is good. Well, actually, now I think about it, I was going to say this is a good Halloween movie because this is a spooky movie that takes place on Halloween. But then again, so does Hocus Pocus. So how about that? You're invited to my party, Angela. Now, is Angela there? No thanks, I decline. So Angela's having a party. Jason and Freddy are too scared to come, but you'll have a hell of a time. This is one of those movies when I was a kid. There's another movie I watched recently. I'm pretty sure I said the same thing. But your, Blockbuster or whatever your video store of choice happened to be years and years ago, and you see this cover and you're like, oh, what's this all about? Like the horror section when I was a kid. I just loved looking at all the covers of these, forbidden movies. Quintessential 80s horror fun. It's Halloween night and Angela's throwing a party, but this is no ordinary Halloween party. Everybody's headed to Hull House, a deserted funeral home, formerly the lair of a mass murderer. But when the partygoers decide to have a seance, bad idea, they awaken something evil, and these party crashers have a thirst for blood. That'd be the demons crashing the party. There's one of them. Don't know these actors. And 80s Splatterfest, directed by Kevin S. Tenney, who directed Witchboard. I haven't seen that either. And this came out, I think, in 85? No, 88. Okay. Yeah, this 88, so it would have come out after, like, Demons and Demons 2. It would have come out after Evil Dead 2. I think Evil Dead 2 was, like, 87. It's been a while since I watched that, too. But it feels inspired by those movies. I'd say equally. Like there's aspects about this that they remind me of Evil Dead in a sense, and some of like the close-ups of the demons and the makeup, certainly remind me of those Demons movies. But I wasn't expecting much from this. It's a real dice roll with some of these 80s. Quintessential 80s horror fun movies when you didn't actually see them in the 80s and you're watching them for the first time. You don't really have that nostalgia for them or anything. But I did get a kick out of this movie. It has a large pool of characters, like more characters than I expected, that are gathering at this party. And this guy's a real pig here. And it just unfolds in a way that was surprising. Like, all things considered, with some of the tropes that you expect back then, it does zigzag a little, and like, oh, okay, I really wasn't expecting that at all. And the makeup effects were good. They're not as good as like the Demons and Demons, if that makes any sense, but they're still pretty good. And there's also some surprising camera techniques that I really wasn't expecting in this movie. Like, there's a pretty well done dolly zoom at some point, so that was cool. And as mentioned, like the Evil Dead inspiration, like there's some like the flying camera where you have it weaving its way through the funeral parlor as a first person perspective of a demon, like looking at who do I want to possess first here at the party. Don't remember the score all that much, but all in all, ended up enjoying this one quite a bit. So now these three here, if you haven't seen any of them, well, it's kind of strange recommending Hocus Pocus, just in a sense. It's kind of like, as mentioned, like recommending like Home Alone if you haven't seen Home Alone. Like, I really can't imagine anyone like strongly disliking Hocus Pocus. It does have a pretty lame kid. Thora Birch is in this as the child actor, the youngest, and she's great. I think she's the acting circles around the other two kid actors in this, and I really get a kick out of Sarah Jessica Parker in this. And this is good, not great. I guess ultimately I'd have to be Hush, just solely for the fact that it's a slasher movie, but it still felt original, and it was pretty exciting to watch. So when you have something that's been done so many times and you make it a must watch, so I think that's when you really nail it. So Hush should be my recommendation out of the three. Okay, thanks for watching.